Hi, this is Sherry with UpOrDownThereBeautiful.blogspot.com. I'm on the Queen of My Craft Room design team, and our project this week was to do a project with fall colors. So I had made a card, and then I thought, well, it would be so cute to add a little 2, 4, 6, 8 box to go with it and to put some candies in it. This is the box. This is the first one. I put a leaf button on the back, and then a ribbon on the front. So whichever direction you see it at, you're going to see something really cute. So I wanted to show you, they're super easy to make, and I wanted to show you how to do that today. So let's get started. This is Basil Pineapple Bliss, and we're going to cut it 8.5 by 5.5 inches. Take that out. Then we're going to flip this over and we're going to score it. And this does have a scoring blade, but I just use my bone folder. And you score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, and then again at 8 inches, which leaves you just a little 1/2 inch strip, which is where your box will hook together. Then you turn it again, and you're going to score it at 2 inches. It's 5.5 inches, so we score it at the 3.5 inch mark, which gives us our 2 inch bottom. Okay. Now you hurry up and you fold your ends, and you crease all of your score lines. There's very little cutting that you need to do on this, which is another reason that it's super simple. You get your scissors, and there's just little tiny part here on the bottom. We're going to cut that completely away. And we're going to cut up to the score line there, and we're going to clip that off, and it's gone. Then we just take the other 4 squares and we cut up to the score line on each one of them. Again, super simple. Okay, now we take our ATG gun or whatever adhesive you have. Now if you're going to put some heavy candy in here, you might want to use the score tape or the red sticky tape, because you want to give it, give it an opportunity to be real sturdy. And you line up your fold, you fold it over, and just line them up. There we go. That's the beginning of our box. And then you flip in your sides. Again, I like to use a lot of adhesive, because I do not want this to come apart when I give it to somebody. I want it to be able to hold a good amount of candy, or buttons or flowers or whatever, stamps, whatever you may decide to put in it. And then we go with our last flap. Now you can put more adhesive, but I've found that, if I just do the 2 flaps, especially if I use score tape, I've not had them come apart. Now we've got our box put together here, our 2, 4, 6, 8 box. This is what I use as the back. It's got that little flap, and it's got the extra flap, so I keep it in the back so it's not quite as noticeable. You take your edges, the outside edges, and you just push them in with your fingers, and you've got a nice little candy box. or gift box. Now what I use from here is I take my Crop-A-Dile, and now I use, depending on what kind, if I was going to use twine, I would use the smaller setting, but I'm going to use ribbon, so I'm going to use the bigger hole punch. And you know, you can punch it anywhere you want, but if you punch it about 1/2 inch in from the edges, it will hold it together better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by running my ribbon through, and my daughter came up with the idea of putting the button on one side and the bow on the other. That way you've got, whichever way it sits, whichever way the person gets it, you know, if they're coming into their office and it's sitting on their desk, you know, they get to see a pretty side of it. And now, wouldn't you know it, I'm having trouble getting the ribbon through the little hole. And I did this earlier without any trouble. And there we go. I think I got it. Okay. Got my first button, or my first hole done. Now we're going to do the next one. I've found that if I kind of round it or pinch it a little, it helps it go through just a little bit better. But I've kind of got my ends frayed there, and that's what's giving me trouble. Okay, there we go. Got the second one through. Now, getting it through the holes is no problem because they're good. They're a good size and they slide right through. There we go. There is the back side of our 2, 4, 6, 8 box. And then you just slide the button over to wherever you want. And you don't have to put the button on, but I bought it because I was doing a card with fall leaves, and I use those as part of the leaves on my tree. Now this is when you would fill it with your candy, or you know, whatever you were going to put inside of it. Whether if you were going to give it to a crafter, you could put buttons, or the little dollar stamps that you get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, or even googly eyes or fancy paper clips or whatever. And then you flip it over and you pull it real tight so it keeps it nice and closed, so you don't have to worry about anything sliding out there. And tie your bow. And then I've got scissors that I use for my ribbon that I only cut ribbon with, because if not, all my scissors get dull. I even put ribbon on them so everybody would know they were my ribbon scissors, and my husband still used them the other day. Drives you crazy. And then you just fluff your bow a little, and here is your 2, 4, 6, 8 box. Now you can make these and leave them flat until you need them. They'd make great baby shower or party favor gifts. And this is my project for the Queen of My Craft Room design team, and this is going to go on my blog for the day. And the challenge is to use fall colors. So I think I did pretty good. Thanks for visiting me today, and happy crafting. Bye.